and welcome to Teacher's Corner on the Teaching Disney YouTube channel. We are so happy to have you guys here. And on this month's Teacher's Corner, we are going to be talking about back to school time and all the fun things that have been in the news about back to school. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll bring in my special guests. They'll introduce themselves and we will get started. So first off, I'm going to bring in my special guest that is here with me today, and that is, Christina!
Hi! Hey guys.
So tell the people who you are if they don't know.
Sure thing. I'm Christina with Read Pray Disney. And let's see, I guess we'll do the regular, since it's teacher-ish, we'll do the regular rundown. So I've been teaching for 13 years in 2 different states, 3 different schools now. And I currently teach intervention. So right now I'm doing 6 through 8 intervention. In years past, I've done 8 and 9 intervention, like just English, everything English, reading in English, that's my thing. And as far as my channel goes, well, hence the name Read Pray Disney. So yay.
Yay! And we might have another guest joining us. He might be at back to school night, so we'll have to see if he pops in. But Jake from Jake's Disney Afternoon is going to be joining us. I don't know why I got that mixed up in my head. But Jake might be joining us later in the stream, so we will meet him soon. And let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so this month on Teacher's Corner, we're going to be talking about back to school. So our first topic when it comes to back to school is literally like back to school, I guess, like the things that teachers do. So the first topic I have for us is classroom setup. So how did you set up your classroom or your office or whatever it is that you have?
Isn't it funny? I think like that's probably my favorite part of the year is setting up. Like I really love going to look for supplies and new things, new decorations and what can I make and all that. So I really enjoy that part. Like really, really a lot. But as far as my classroom this year, I'm sharing a room again. So my sharing of my room, what I do for me is I will say after, again, this is year 13 for me. So I have a lot of stuff already. So thankfully, I don't have to go out and spend money on decorations and things like that because I've done that in the past and I keep everything. I laminate and I keep everything. But for me, I don't have a theme this year. I know I've seen some people like my daughter's, she's in 2nd grade and they did dinosaurs and it is so cute. And it's dinosaurs and green and all of that. But for me, it's hints of Disney and positivity posters. But I try to keep my walls bare because what I like to do with my kids is have them come in and we put up anchor charts. They create their anchor charts. They create their posters. And that's usually what I use to decorate. But my personal stuff, it's pictures of family, Disney, my comic books, my comic books, my graphic novels, all my books and things. I have my own personal library. Oddly enough, I'm at a charter school this year and they don't have a library.
Whoa, that's weird.
No library.
I mean, we have like a library. Doesn't it really get used as a library? No, but like we have it.
See, and I'm used to schools, like our librarians were very active. They would do classes and everything, and the school doesn't even have a library. Like what they said was that the kids could go to the public library, get a library card, or do checkouts and stuff through audiobooks and whatnot. And I was like, oh, I missed that. But my room is mostly bare bones with a hint of Disney and things about my family, but yeah, I usually save most of it. I've stepped away from the actual decorating. I guess I've gotten old.
No.
What do you do?
So in my classroom, I was actually gonna post a video about it. I just have not had time to edit it, and it's
No,
actually
you did
funny.
the brain thing, right?
I
You
did.
did, yeah.
I have a whole growth mindset wall. Well, I really have
Mhm.
like a whole like their corner kind of thing. So I have like
Mhm.
a weird alcove in my room, which I'll go over in the video whenever I post. I'll probably be posting it soon. I just haven't had time to edit, and I'm finally like getting time now that it's starting to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Beginning of the year is rough.
yes. So I did the whole I alluded to it on my Instagram stories. I have a few different things. So
Mhm.
I have like a whole alcove that is just dedicated to my students. And I have I will put had a very cute sitting area that my kids within the first few months broke a stool, popped
No.
2 inflatable stools, and they are now deflated
No. pieces
pieces of plastic in my room that I don't know
That's
what to
sad.
do with. Yeah.
That's sad.
I mean, were they really meant to be sat on by 12-year-olds? Probably not. Did I do it
You
anyway?
know,
Absolutely.
I did one year, well, for one period because I had it for a few years. I
Hi,
bought like a carpet thing. Hi, Nina. I bought a carpet thing, and then
Tina.
I've had two of I think they're called Big Joe chairs, or like they're like the beanbag type, but they
Yeah.
sit up a little bit. The only thing I didn't like about those is that the styrofoam bean things,
Yeah.
over time you do have to replace them. But my kids
Mm.
loved those, and they could all they want, and
Yeah.
they weren't going anywhere. And they weren't smelly or anything afterwards. So,
Yeah.
and I had kids that would bring in pillows and sit with them.
Mhm.
But my rooms this year, I mean, the last 5 year or 4 or 5 years, I've had to share rooms. So I haven't brought them back in.
Yeah, I don't have any. I was looking for beanbag chairs, but beanbag chairs are like randomly stupidly expensive. And I was
Walmart.
like,
Why are you not at Walmart?
I did look at Walmart, and Walmart's beanbag chairs were still like $50. And I was like, I don't have $100 to drop on 2 beanbag chairs.
Well, see, when you have a husband, girl.
Well, until that happens, no.
Yeah, no, I get it. Totally get it.
That was part of my room, and then the rest of my room is kind of split in half, so I don't have like a lot of wall space. My whole entire back wall is nothing but windows, which is weird because like they're covered by blinds, and we're supposed to keep them covered all the time, so it's really dumb.
Oh.
Yeah, and then my other wall. So I have like 5 walls. So I have a wall of windows. I have my board wall, which is like basically my entire board and has 2 bulletin boards on it as well. So there's no like wall space there. And then I have nothing but cabinets.
You have science stuff though.
Yeah. Well, no, like my partner teacher who teaches ELA and history, she has the same setup. So yeah, it's just like cabinets for books and other stuff like that. It's really just
built-in
like
storage.
Yes, built in. So,
that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, so it's like for me it's really beneficial because I teach science. For her, it's not. But so I don't have a lot of space to hang my stuff. I will say I made a amazing math vocabulary wall this year using my cabinets, and I am so proud of it.
Nice.
So incredibly proud of it. And yeah, it's like one of my favorite accomplishments other than my wall, my children's corner wall. And I get so many compliments. Like today I held a little meeting in my room with a bunch of other teachers, and they were all like, "Wow, I love your room." And I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, nice. I remember when I first started, I was so stressed because I wanted the Pinterest teacher type look. And then I realized pretty quickly after the first year, that is 100% not me. Not at all. Like I will lean on other teachers to make stuff for me. But I'm not crafty. Like I can project an image and trace it and cut it out, maybe color it really well, but that's about it.
That's what I did with my fixed mindset.
Yeah,
poster thing.
yeah.
I just put
Like that's cheat, guys. Cheat codes.
Yeah, I just put it up on the, I just put it
Don't
up.
go buy it.
That was actually from last year when I moved and I had nothing to start the year because all of
Mhm.
my stuff was on a truck somewhere. So I
Mhm.
had nothing to start the year out, and I was like, I need something, and I didn't want to pay for one. So I was like, let
Yeah.
me just make one, and I made
Wow.
one, and it came out pretty good. I think it came out pretty well. So
We'll wait for the video because I really want to see that.
yes. So, but I figured since I haven't posted it yet, I might do like a little recap of like what's
Mhm.
working in my room and what's not working in my room. So,
That's cool.
and how I change it based on that. So we'll see. But I have a lot of different fun things in my room that I feel like most people that teach sixth grade would be like, what are you even doing? Like, not at all like what sixth graders would want, but it works for me and it works for my kids. So.
And that's the thing. And I know a lot of people talking about, well, that whole age appropriateness. Quite frankly, even up to my seniors when I was in senior classes, they like stickers, and especially scratch and sniff stickers. Yeah. Those kids would go bananas for scratch and sniff stickers. And you're like, guys, really? They're like, yes. It's not, I don't think it has to do with the trinket or the toy or whatever. It's more of the appreciation of the teacher that's giving it to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the connection that they feel with you. If you're presenting that whole Oriental trading stuff and you're like, here you go, here's your prize. They're like, whatever. But it's different when you have a good relationship with the kids. They appreciate those things.
Yeah. So like I have stuffed animals in my room, and the kids love them. And all they literally do is just get them and hold them while they for the day. And I kid you not, they will trample over each other for them. They are just like, so weird.
It's the simple things. It's the simple things.
So
see,
Nina
right, Nina? Yes.
Says she loves stickers.
Yes.
Wish I had more excuses to use stickers as an adult. Oh my gosh.
You don't need an excuse.
On a daily basis. So I'm like, you know what? You did a great job today.
My gold star.
Here's my sticker. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. I've never been more proud of my room, and you're right. Like I was going for a very Pinterest vibe look. Like what I was like, oh, I want to do farmhouse. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then like when I got there, I was like, like last year it just like didn't seem right. But this year it's not like one theme. It's just like whatever I wanted to do. And I kind of tried to keep it cohesive. It's more like color, and I love color. So it's me.
If anything, my room is just multicolor.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not clashing colors. I like the primary colors. But I think as I've gotten older, more my vibe is more what is it? I know there's a name for it, and I'm gonna like
I could just imagine Nina's like whole company like opening up their bill and like, what's this? Why is there like a goofy sticker on?
What we need to do is start. I'm putting it into motion. I'm thinking it out there. I'm putting it out there. We need to start because we always do swaps and stuff like that. Why don't we start like a pen pal type thing?
Oh my gosh,
where we mail each other like a card or a little note or something, and then we add stickers. Yeah, because they'll give me a reason to use 50 billion stickers I have anyway. God, yeah, I forgot where I was going, but go ahead, Morgan.
Yeah, I don't remember what we were talking about because it's so late and
I'm
so delusional.
You're tired.
I am. So, okay, what's the next topic? All right, so next topic is teacher PD. What all teachers love and what all teachers hate is teacher PD. Anything that could be sent in an email and you have to stay an hour after school for it. So, how long was your teacher PD day, and do you think you learned anything new?
Okay, first to address Nina's comment, yes, because of that stationery swap, we need to use all the stationery. So I am totally with that. Absolutely. Okay. Oh, PD. Okay, so this year, oh my God, I think after a while, there isn't much new. You know, when you've been doing it for so long, there isn't much of anything new. Like every once in a while, I'll grab a snippet of something, like something comes across, I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't thought about it that way. But my PD this year, our in service was, I think, about 2 weeks. The normal in Texas is about 2 weeks. Yeah. Well, the first week would be, no, mine was 3 weeks, but I did, since I switched schools, I did the whole switch districts. I did the whole new hire thing, whatever, for a week. And then we did district PD stuff. And then we did campus PD stuff for about, 2 weeks. And they were long days. And what bothers me so much about PD, especially teaching PD, professional development, guys, for those of you that don't get that. Yeah. But what gets me is that you're there, like I'm in the audience, and whoever the facilitator is, you're supposed to be teaching me how to teach, but yet you teach me in the most boring, you lecture at me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
or you make me do a stupid icebreaker. Like the kids hate them. I hate them. Yeah. Like I don't want to get to know, like, well, I mean I do, but like I'm like, I don't want to do it this way. Like that was weird. Yeah.
I enjoy when professional development is done correctly. And I've had it done correctly back in my district in Coppers Cove. I don't know if that was too much, but anyway, Coppers Cove, Texas, they do PD right. You know, like it was just enough interaction and engagement. And then you also had like a choice thing. You got to choose certain number of hours of PD that you wanted to go to, like the different types, you know, they brought in region people, they brought in outside people, like, you know, in educational companies, they brought in all these people and different things and topics, and it was good, you know, like it was good, useful stuff. There's stuff that I learned in those PDs 10 years ago that I still use today. I haven't been to a PD that has been helpful, like for essentially in 10 years, you know, like it's not, I guess my biggest gripe is that they teach, it's so much lecture, and you got to have kids engagement. You got to do this and you got to do that, but you're not doing it for me. You know, I'm still a learner too, you know, like I'm still human. So, and no PD ever caters to the different modalities of how kids learn or nothing, you know, it's, so PD can go suck.
So mine was only a week and a half-ish.
Nice.
And one of the days, like the very first, so they gave us an option that we could come in like a day early if we wanted to do whatever we wanted in our classroom. So I did that.
Classroom time is nice.
Yeah, to start setting up my classroom. And because I knew, I was like, if I can get everything done this day, then I won't have to worry the rest of the week, and I can focus on other stuff. And so that's exactly what I did. I went in and I got it done almost in like, I think it was like, took me 3 days to do all of it. And then we had PD, and honestly, we got brand new standards this year in Florida for math. We got a brand new textbook. We got a brand new like learning curriculum thing that we're doing. And did I get training on any of it? No.
You got a new textbook adoption, but they did not bring in somebody, or they're going to bring it in later?
Listen, we're lucky we got the textbook. Okay. I had to go in, I volunteered because we don't have like the head person that's supposed to be like giving out textbooks and stuff. We don't have that. So, because it wasn't hired yet, which we'll get into later. I have many gripes about this. But so I went in on a Saturday with one of my vice principals, and we handed out textbooks, and we found out we were over, I think it was like 120 total textbooks short. And we only had, so like, you know how textbooks come in like volume 1, volume 2? We only had volume 2 of all of our 8th grade textbooks.
Girl, I can do you one better. So last year in Virginia, they did a whole new textbook adoption so that campus was the 8th and 9th grade campus. So they did a brand new textbook adoption. And the person that ordered the textbooks, they ordered, so 8th grade was good. 8th grade got the online stuff that they needed. We got the consumable that we needed, the teacher editions that we needed, like everything was fine. 9th grade though, they did not order. How did it go? They ordered the books, but they ordered the wrong books. Okay, like the completely
That's what happened to
wrong
us. That's
book.
what happened to us. The old principal who was in charge of it ordered the wrong textbook. So we had like a bunch of extra of this one textbook. And then we were like missing a whole section of this textbook. And I was like, why would you like?
But here's the thing. The budget was already done. And so it cost them like $1 million to order. Because and what people don't understand, textbooks are expensive anyway. Like when you go to college, like they're ridiculous. But like that's the business we need to get into. But it's what textbooks come licenses, especially if they have an online component. So when they ordered the completely like wrong publisher and everything, it's not like it's Prentice All and it's just version B instead of version D, wrong publisher and everything. It was like the second on their list of adoption if they didn't get their first choice. So, but there was no money left because the books had already been ordered. So, however, I don't know where they found the money from because, of course, they find the money and they order the new books and the new books come in and then they were short. So they were consumables, but they only ordered classroom sets of consumables. And it's like, and this is English, like it's not like this is English. We annotate, we use our book, so essentially 9th grade that year, like they were just like, whatever, we'll just put stuff together, and I know that they eventually fixed it and everything was fine, but it's like, that is a huge, how do you do that? You got one job, textbook ordering person, one job.
What's been funny about this new textbook and our new online system, and we also got like a new, like, it's kind of like Prodigy. Have you ever heard of Prodigy before? Kind of like that, but for math specifically, and for this like specific textbook. And
I thought Prodigy was only for math.
It might
Is it not?
But it's mostly for 5th grade and under.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not like really 6th and 7th, 8th, and 8th.
Okay.
Grade. It has the option, but not really.
Yeah.
And so, and it's completely like based on like what they're gonna learn. And so anytime we have asked a question about it, like, hey, how do we find this? How does this work? Like any question we have asked, we've gotten the same answer. We don't know. And they're like, we're learning it too. And I'm like, that's great, but can we get
y'all don't have a like a Prodigy connecting, like somebody who.
So we do for the textbook, and they were like half helpful, but like it's a textbook, like you don't really need like any like help. Like one textbook is like website is the same as another textbook website pretty much. And then, but it was mainly this new program that we all had so many questions on. We're like, so how do they take the first test? How does this work? How do we grade it? Like stuff like that. And they're just like, we don't know. You can figure it out, but you have to make sure you get this amount of time in every week on it. And so we're like, oh my God.
Yeah. Great job. So, sure. We'll do that.
It's been great. And then new standards, new curriculum, like the whole.
That's a mess.
It's been a mess. It's been a mess. And we don't follow the book anymore. So the book is not written for our standards. It's written for like something similar, but like
Common Core. Is it Common Core?
I don't know, but so the 6th grade book though does not follow like what they learn in 6th grade. So like it has like extra stuff in it that they don't learn anymore in 6th grade. They learn it in 5th grade, or extra stuff that they don't learn till 7th grade occasionally. So you have to be careful. So you can't go like chapter 1, section 1, chapter 2, chapter 1, section 2. Like you can't just follow it. Like you have to like follow. Like,
what's up with your textbook adoption committee? Like there should have been a committee. Well,
our governor vetoed the one we were gonna use, And so they had to scramble at the last minute to get something together because they made all these books that were designed for our new standards and they vetoed them all. So they had to scramble at the last minute to get something. So.
And your governor is the governor of Florida.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yes,
okay.
The governor of Florida.
Just not maybe. Wow. All right. Do they have an educational background?
No, they don't. He thinks he does, which we're going to get into because he's made some very interesting laws that impact the Florida education system that other states are actually adopting, which I have found very interesting to help the teacher crisis. And I'm just like, ooh, I wouldn't touch that with 10-foot pole, but okay, that's on you.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's that. Anyway, so that's professional development. If you've never gone to professional development. So basically all of my professional development this year was like the same as it always is every single year. Like here's a new textbook. Here's what we're going to do with it. And that was like the math. And then like the, I don't even know. My school's professional development was very like just the same as it always is. Like
just please come to work and
please come to work. Please don't quit.
Please come to work.
Please don't quit. Was like a big statement that not everyone heard apparently.
Man. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. So any last thoughts on professional development before we move on?
It sucks.
It sucks. Could be in an email.
Yeah.
100%.
For real. For real.
Number 3, but you know why I found out they have professional development in person? It's because half of employees don't read their email. Just saying.
Well, then I have no comment because, quite frankly, all the safe school stuff, I don't know. Every time we get all the safe school things, I'm like, click. So I would say that could be an email, but that does come in email, and I still click through it.
All right. The next thing we're going to talk about was the first day of school. So I know Jake was supposed to join us. He's apparently driving home, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Him. But he just started like last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that. So his first day was very close. When was your first day?
Oh my goodness. Our first day of school, let me look at my calendar. Our first day of school was August, I feel like 22nd.
Oh, okay. So that was after mine. Mine was August.
Yeah. But because I'm in El Paso, Texas. And so El Paso ISD, they started August 1st. Because my daughter started August 1st. Yeah. And oddly enough, they start August 1st, but they're year round. But they start August 1st and they get out after I do. And I started on the 22nd. I get out like in May something. They get out in June something. I'm like, ooh. It's a long year. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty long. Yeah. I wonder if they have longer breaks though.
You know, they have the intercession breaks, so it's like 2 weeks after every grading period. Yeah. So they get those 2 weeks. It's like all it is 4 weeks. Like so, it's 2 weeks between October and November or something like that, and then they get the week of Thanksgiving. It's the 2 weeks at Christmas, just like everybody else, and then they get 2 weeks like April, May, and they still get spring break or like, so it's yeah.
Gotcha. So how was your first day? Since it was so long ago, if you could think back, it feels like for me like it was a year ago by now, but
it does
actually was just a month ago.
So I have never opened a school, and so this is my first experience because here I'm at a charter school. And I have never been at a brand new school. And this school, we're still building as we're in it. The first, it was bad. Like, it's not the kids. not the kids.
Any fun stories?
So we had 2 accidents, traffic accidents, because my lovely school district, not EPISD, but my lovely school district, for some reason doesn't want to put in a stoplight. And so it is it's $1 million to put in a stoplight, and it's a very busy road. And this is before we had police officers out there. I think we had 1 police officer and 2 security guards, and then all of us. We had vests. We didn't even have stop signs. No, I take it back. We didn't even have vests. We didn't have vests. We didn't have stop signs. We didn't have anything. But you got teachers out here. Oh, wait. No, you can't go.
On a corner, like, come on, kids.
All of us were directing, because at my school, our kids don't, they all get dropped off because there's no buses, because it's a charter school. And so, all of our kids, I mean, there was just, the traffic was horrible. And then when you get into a new building, there's things that new building, like things don't work sometimes and things break. Yeah. And we didn't have internet. We had to all use these little hotspots. And the kids, like, we don't have lockers yet. Like, they're still getting installed, there's still construction fencing around our place. And the kids were just, they were appreciative that it was a nice building, but they also felt as though that we as a district could have done better. Like, we shouldn't have opened. We weren't ready. But they pushed and brought them all in anyway. And I mean, of course, teachers do what teachers do, and we got them through. We got them fed, we got where they were safe, and we got them home. Now, did some of them make it home before 5? Yeah. But were you still in traffic at 6:30 trying to get your kid? Probably. But and we got out at 3:20. So it was a lot. It was a lot. And it was in the midst of that, just like with all schools at this point, when you're going to get into the shortages, we have shortages too. And so we have classrooms with no teachers. And so you bring in people, like, I'm an interventionist, so I don't have a roster of my own. So I subbed for the first 2 weeks. I was in just about every single class, and we have 6 through 12 in our building. I've seen every single kid. First 2 weeks, I'm seeing every single. I know med biology now. I know, like,
there you go.
It's one of those things. It was a challenge. It was a challenge, and it's not because it was the start of the year. I think for us, the crux was because it was a brand new facility, a brand new building. I will say, being here in Texas, the start of the year, there was a tone, like a sense of melancholy. No, that's not the right word. There was just a feeling, in the air because of Uvalde, still that still being fresh in everybody's mind. And we're coming in to this.
What is that? Sorry, what'd you say?
Uvalde, you remember the shooting that happened right before?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was here in Texas. And we there's just so many kids were still wrestling with that fear. Yeah. So there was that coupled with, everything else. So it was an interesting ride. How about you?
So we had a fight the very first day of school. Great.
Yeah, fight. Yes.
Yeah, like, let's
get it out the gate. Go.
Like, let's get into it. It was quite the day, I will say. Honestly, that's the only thing I remember from the first day.
Was it a real fight, or was it like, we're prostrating fight? Like, there's ones that are knocked down, drag out. I ain't touching them.
It was something that it was like a 6th grader, and I think it was another 6th grader, and they were like bringing something from like elementary school. That happened.
Leftover
drama. They're like, I'm finally gonna get you, and they thought.
Okay.
And so that happens.
Wow.
It was quite the scene. First thing, when did it happen? I think it happened during dismissal. It happens.
So at least they waited till the end of the day.
Yeah, they waited till the end of the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was interesting. I got to meet all of my new kids, which was, of course, so much fun. And they were all scared to death, which I love because then they don't give me issues.
See, I can't do those younger. Oh, sixth grade.
Oh my God,
Ugh.
I love it. They're just like, where did I go? I am lost. And I'm like, it's okay. You'll get there.
I don't know. I need my older kids. Like I think next year I'm gonna switch over and just do just high school. Because I'm tired of middle school and after a while you're like, okay, I get it. It's cool, it's
Yeah.
fine. And now I'm like, oh my God, really? The boy,
Oh, they're so
like he's
funny.
not. They're great. They really are. And I want to say my kids out here are wonderful.
Crazy.
But sixth grade girl, that's a whole beast by itself.
Oh, yeah.
They need to be in a building by themselves.
Oh yeah, I had a girl today. They're not allowed to wear Crocs to school, so she thought she'd be slick because we're uniform school. So
okay.
And Crocs pose a danger because if they're not put on correctly, they could easily fall off and fall and trip and whatever. So they're not allowed to wear Crocs to school. And so she thought she was going to be slick, and she put one sneaker on and one Croc on and walked in so that you could only see the sneaker. And then some kid ratted her out today because he always gets in trouble for Crocs. And he's like, no, you're not going to pass this. Just because, so he was like, he came over, he pulled me aside in the lunchroom and he was like, Miss, look, and made me stare at her foot. And I was like, oh, she has a Croc.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what would you like me to do about this? She's not my kid, she's not mine. And he's like, get her in trouble. And I was like, okay, will do.
Yeah, they're funny. They do like to snitch on each other.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
So that was today though. But yeah, the first day went pretty well. It didn't rain, thank goodness. That's always the biggest fear in Florida is that we have to do a rainy day lightning dismissal. We have had to do so many lightning dismissals this year. It's insane.
I bet.
And then lately, yesterday, we had a really bad lightning dismissal where we had lightning within 500 feet of the school, on school property. I almost got struck yesterday by lightning. I kid you not. I was 2 inches from the lightning.
Wow.
That struck, and it put a hole in the ground and put a hole into our metal overpass thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. All of my.
So do y'all have to make up the time for the seat time since they get dismissed so often?
No, so they don't get dismissed early. We hold them after school, and we don't let them go till there's no lightning.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah. So a lightning dismissal is because you never know really how bad it is, especially in Florida. You never know if you're actually going to get it.
Sure.
So we can't dismiss early. So the buses, we can dismiss the kids on the buses, and we can kind of dismiss car riders. They just have to stay in shelter, and we could call them out. But walkers, and we're a huge walker school, and bike riders, they cannot get dismissed until it's clear of at least, I think it's 10 miles of lightning or 5 miles of lightning, because they can walk up to 3.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so we don't dismiss them. So then they get very anxious and annoyed because they're after school and they don't want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
do y'all house them in the gym or something, or in the cafeteria, or where did they?
We put them in the cafeteria because that's where their bike rack is. That's where they would normally exit, is near the cafeteria. They're still coming up with a system for where exactly to put them. They put them in a different location every single time. One time, 3 times it's been the cafeteria. One time it was the chorus and band room. Another few times, I think it was 5 times, it was the media center, which is our library. One time they wanted to just hold them in classrooms.
Yeah. But then
it's been a mess. There's really no good way to do it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, let's try this time and see if it works. So,
well.
yeah.
well.
But the first day of school, honestly, it was just such a blur. I do remember a lot of teachers we were missing, I think, 10 teachers at the start of the year. And so we had 10 teachers that were not there or were not hired yet. And I do know one teacher quit after the first day. They were like, I didn't think I was going to be with kids all day long. And I was like, what did you think teaching was? Like, what? And so they were like, I'm done. And they left and they never came back. Yeah.
Yeah, which leads into the teacher shortage thing. Like we have.
Yeah, it does. It leads perfectly into our next topic, which is the teacher shortage.
And it's bad. It's really bad.
It's very bad.
I know for us, we have, I want to say it's 4 full-time subs. But we also have 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on. So, okay, those 2, then that one, and then that one. We had 6 teachers, I think, quit this year so far.
Whoa.
Well, to be fair, 5 of them, they quit the school, but they're going to they're moving to a different district altogether. They're not quitting teaching. They're just moving to a different district. And then one, I think she was new to teaching just in general, and she decided not to come to the school. Like I don't know.
That's been a huge thing at my school where we hire someone and they don't even start, or they come in for one day to do like planning stuff, because we give them 2 days without kids of planning. And so they'll come in for like a day and then they're like, well, I got a better offer somewhere else, so I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Or like we offer them the job and they just decline it, or they just decide that they just never come and they go somewhere else. And we're like, why? What is going on that we have hired, like one position in particular, we have hired 5 different people for it and not a single person has started.
Wow.
Yeah, because they keep leaving. They keep going somewhere else.
Up the pay. Because like we did lose
not
1 or 2. We lost 2.
Not like another county though. Like in my county. Like they're still getting paid the same. They're just going to a different another school.
Ooh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Okay. That's odd. Well, I mean, unless that's the place where they want it to be to begin with, then who knows? Who knows? I mean, to be fair,
of them, it's other schools. Some of them are like, well, now I just decide I'm not moving to Florida. And we're like, what?
To be fair, I didn't act on it, but I did get 2 job calls while I was already working. One from another school within the same district that I'm at, and another one from a neighboring district. And it's like, but yeah, it's bad all over the place. It is bad.
Yeah. It's just, I find it very interesting. The teacher shortage in general is just, it's bad. It's really bad. You know, it's bad because it's making the news everywhere. Like a lot of people in the beginning of the year in like August were really pinpointed on like Florida, and like we're focusing on Florida's teacher shortage. And then, but I was like, that's just because the year hasn't started in other states.
Yeah.
Like wait till the year starts. And now like I just looked up teacher shortage, and literally if you look up teacher shortage on Google, you get a bunch of articles. Texas teacher shortage in Kern County, Long Island School District combating teacher shortage, PA teacher shortage, Central High teacher shortage, Mid Coast teacher shortage. And it's just like, it's bad everywhere. Like Illinois was the only state that I saw just now that said doesn't have a teacher shortage problem.
They got other problems.
You know what?
They have other problems.
Yeah, come on, Illinois. Like, come share the wealth, please.
They have a whole bunch of other problems. But
it's just, I feel like it's
And
bad everywhere.
it's not just teacher, it's bus drivers, it's staff,
Yeah.
it's within the education realm in general. Like people, I think it's two parts. One, it's the fear with, none of us signed up to have to protect the lives of our children's,
Mhm.
wow, of our children. Like that is not something I signed up for when I was teaching, I started teaching. So there's that, and a lot of people are very scared, and I can't blame them. Rightfully so. I kiss my girl to school every day, and I drop her off and I give her the biggest hug and the biggest kiss because you just don't know. And
Yeah.
then I go in to walk into my school and I'm like, hopefully this is not the day.
Yeah.
And it is draining to have to carry that with you every day. It's a combat
Yeah.
zone.
Yeah.
And then couple that with the last few years and the decline, like we are getting way more micromanaged
Mhm.
with it's odd because it's more micromanaging, less support, more behavior problems.
Yes.
And it's the kids are it's a thing. The kids, people like this. I know people say, oh my gosh, kids are just getting worse and getting worse. I don't think kids are getting worse, in my
Mm-mm.
opinion. Kids are kids. They're not getting worse. They're just getting away with more. You
Yeah.
know, at
I feel
home,
like
at school, our
yeah,
hands are
that's what I
tied.
was gonna say. It all starts like a lot of it starts at home, and I feel like kids are just coming in with like a different perception of
Yeah,
what school is. Like especially
yeah.
my sixth graders this year, they are the kids that had it the worst. They were in third grade when COVID happened.
Hmm.
So some of them weren't in school for 2 years. And so they missed out on that time where they learn social cues and they
Hmm.
learn like they really start to learn like this is how you behave in school.
Right.
And I'm starting to see it now where they're like, I'm like, where's your stuff? And they're like, oh, I figured I'd just keep it here. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no. You're not keeping your notebook, you're not keeping all your stuff in my room. Like you either
Yeah.
carry it with you or you don't bring it.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it's
and I think like with because that group, the third grade group, but then also I consider like the fifth, sixth graders that had that COVID year,
mhm,
um,
that are now in
maybe
high
two,
school
that are
and
now
in
like
grade.
they miss. What people don't understand is that school is much more than a house of education. It is
Yeah.
it's where they learn how to be human.
Yeah.
Some of them don't get it until they get out of school, you know, where we just plant the seeds. But here is where they learn how to be human. Here is where they learn how to interact with people. And I keep telling folks, it's like, y'all don't understand. Like some of these kids, especially our preteens, when COVID hit, they're at home and we don't, God knows what their at home situation was. But let's just take your average run of the mill kid, right? They're at home. Um, and all they're hearing is one side of a story.
Yeah.
They see the news, the media is blah, 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 blah in their face all the time. And they hear their parent side of whatever side they're on, their parent side of everything, right? So during that whole year, we had Black Lives Matter. We had like all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody has really strong opinions, but school is the place where we are supposed to help balance that opinion and let them help foster them processing all of that information. So they miss that time of process and they come in with this huge chip in their we have to fight that,
Yeah.
along with they can you read? you know
Henry?
so there's so much happening, like, and I know, and I heard the other day, like, how long are we going to use COVID as an excuse? I'm not using COVID as an excuse.
Mm-mm.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there was that gap of time that everyone suffered. Everyone suffered. Um, but our kids coming out of that this has been crawling I know there's a movie scene and I can't think of a movie. Movie is like you're climbing up out of this dark, dank hole and it's mud and it's bodies and it's gore and you're trying and you slip a little bit and you're climbing. That is what teaching is like right now.
Yeah.
You know,
It
that's
100%
teaching.
is. It's like the best like analogy I have heard all day.
But that's what it is. And it's like we're just trying to get through. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so I don't blame these people that are leaving. Heck,
And I feel
myself,
like
I
also,
tried.
like what you said about using COVID as an excuse, I feel like so many people are actually using it as an excuse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we can't use it as an excuse anymore. Like, you can't tell me that a kid is going to scream the F word at me because
Because of COVID.
Like, no, they're not going to do that. They're going to do it because that's what they hear at home, or because there's no consequences for them when they do it at home. Like, that's what it is. And I feel my opinion, for anyone that's going to come at me for it, is that it's a lot on the parents not giving consequences at home and not backing up. Because I feel like that they are very quick to say that the teacher is wrong and not believe what the teacher is saying. Like, I'm not going to call home and tell you that your kid just hit someone if your kid didn't hit someone. You know what I mean?
Like, okay,
why would I waste my time to do that?
No one, not a teacher that's worth their salt wants to call you. I don't want to spend time calling parents. I hate calling
for good reasons. I'm
like,
it's such a waste of my time. Like, I don't want to. It takes so long. Like,
so I'm gonna call and lie to you.
Like, there's no like quick list of like, okay, here's all my parent phone calls. Okay, let me just call this number. No, there's like a system you have to go into. You have to find the right number. You have to get a hold of someone. So if the first person doesn't pick up, you gotta call the second person. You gotta call the third person.
It's like, and on top of that, I gotta notate the time and stamp that I called. Did I leave a voicemail? Did they not pick up? I gotta indicate all these things.
Yeah.
It's a lot to call somebody. So no, I don't want to call.
There is one specific parent. I don't have the student. Thank God. Thank God. She is like every teacher's worst nightmare. This kid.
Oh, wow.
So, or he, rather, and the parent just does not believe anything we say. Like, it doesn't matter who tells the parent this. It could be me. It could be a vice principal. It could be the actual principal telling this parent that this child is cursing, that they are skipping class, that they are walking out of class, that they're constantly on their phone. And they're like, my child doesn't curse. I'm like, what did I do? Just make it up? Like, no. Like,
wow.
My child would never hit someone. Well,
ma'am,
tell that to the bruise on the other child's face.
Ma'am, I will say that, I mean, as a parent, now, you know, seeing it from both sides, it is tough to parent. Parenting is, God, it's the hardest thing. And like, I feel like every day it's like, am I failing at this? Am I not failing at this?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, my kid still gets consequences. Now, could I be more stronger with my, sure, but my kid's not going to, I know who my kid is, you know?
Yeah.
And the first thing I ask her, if she says something, whatever she says, the first thing, okay, what did you say? What did you do? You know?
Yeah.
Okay, now what did this person say? What did this person do? You know, let's get all the sides, because I'm not just going to take, you know, I love her and I know and I'd like to say that she's not going to lie to me, but let's be real, she will.
I just don't understand, like, and a lot of them is like my generation and a little bit older than me, the parents that I'm seeing now. And I'm like, you know that we would lie. Like, we, like, as people lie as children all the time. So why do you think you have suddenly born this angel of God that is not gonna lie? Like, I don't understand.
They don't lie. They don't cuss.
Like, true story. This parent called me the other day and they're like, why is my kid having F for all these things? And I said, well, they haven't turned anything in. They're like, that's a lie. And I'm like, I hate to tell you it's not. Like, I don't have any of their assignments. And they're like, well, they're in their book bag. And I'm like, okay.
That's not the same as turning it in.
That's not the same as turning it in. And they're like, what about and I'm like, they also don't bring their laptop at all. And they're like, what do you mean? They have it on them right now. And I was like, I promise you, I looked in their book bag. They do not have their laptop today. And she's like, well, it's sitting right here. And I'm like, then it's not with them. Like, obviously, like, let's use some common sense here.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And I don't know if it's because of COVID, like everyone is still like, because of the climate of like everything, that people are still like just so pent up with rage that they are just waiting to jump on someone. I just feel like it's that, like, people are just so ready to jump down everyone's throat about like anytime.
We lost a bit of humanity. We did. Yes. We have, as a race, as a human race, we have lost a little bit of grace, of kindness. We've lost, we lost a little bit of that, which, I mean, I don't know. I feel like for some people, COVID should have given you the opportunity to kind of find new things in life that you really enjoy, that you really love. I know for me, that was pin collecting. I was like, I would have never became the pin collector.
Your pin collection expanded quite a bit. Thanks to COVID.
Thank you, COVID. But like, that was a time. But I understand, I also understand that not everybody's home situation is what it was. But at some point, we have to regain our humanity. And, people talk about mental health and how important mental health is. And it truly is. And it's also seeping into the kids. And that's why, across the country, we have this push of SEL, that social emotional learning. Yeah. Quite frankly, I think we need to bring the parents in on it. Like, it's not just the kids.
And I think now that COVID is like less, it's still a thing, but it's less of a thing now. Yeah. Like, we can finally bring parents back into our school at least. And I'm dying. Like, the first time a parent is like, my child doesn't do that, I'm like, come watch.
Yeah, come sit and watch.
Sit and watch, please.
But don't be noticeable, because kids, when parents come in, they're like the different. I'm like, come on, seriously, like, because I've told parents, like, it doesn't help if you're gonna come, because they're gonna change. I said, if anything, ask to see the tape, ask to see the video of them, their butt in the hallway doing the crazy things that they do. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So how is your state battling their version of the teacher crisis? Because I don't want to say the teacher crisis, because it's different everywhere. Like, what California considers a crisis is not what like Florida is considering a crisis. It's not what PA is considering a crisis, and clearly Illinois doesn't have a crisis. So I don't know. But
I will say that I don't know, because I just got back to Texas, and before, I know what Virginia was doing, but for here, like Virginia, we brought in Filipino teachers. Like we were talking before the show, we would go to, where in Virginia, they called in, it's a company that does this, or I guess several companies, but for our math and sciences, they were Philippine teachers that they brought in to help combat the teacher shortage. We were also doing, what else did they do? They did bonuses for different positions. They did that. But I think in the district that I was in Virginia, the biggest thing is that they just needed to up their pay. Like that would have, the pay wasn't necessarily on par with the surrounding area. I think we made like maybe 1,000, 1,500 less than everyone else. And that would have helped. But in Texas, I don't know, because at my current school, our shortage is norm versus I wouldn't say we have a shortage, we just have vacancies. You know what I mean? At my current school, in my current district, but I couldn't say about the surrounding districts because I don't know.
So I would definitely call Florida right now a shortage, because not only do we have vacancies, but we don't have like even a huddle. Like they always call it a pool of teachers that like people wanting to be hired by the district, whatever. We don't even have a puddle. Like we don't even have like one person to like be that's going for these jobs. So, and that's just in the county. That's not like, and that's in Florida in general. Like I think Polk County, which is south of me, has 1,000 vacancies still within their county. Mine, I think, has 600 vacancies still within our county. Orange County, which is like kind of where Disney is, they have quite a lot as well. And
I bet you it's elementary. A lot of, if you look at it, I think a lot of it.
I don't know for certain, but I know it is very much special ed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No special ed teachers. No special ed teachers. We were really
no one wants to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would not.
We were really hard pressed for ELA teachers. We lost 4 ELA teachers out of 8. So, and we didn't really find many. So we're still short on ELA teachers. We're short on science teachers, which we only need 1, but we also hired some people from Cameroon and the Philippines, but it's taking forever for them to get processed. So currently it's still vacant.
And even when they do come in, like I was telling you before, even when the Philippine teachers come in, it takes a lot to get them, because I don't know how your district is handling them coming in.
It's the first time ever.
Really?
Yeah.
So do they have, I mean, are they going to, because they got to have, what happens is they come in, but who's finding them apartments? Who's finding them cars?
They have a whole part of the district that's like someone at the district level is doing that.
Okay. Hopefully so. Because our district.
They already have like agreements. They already have like housing for them. They already have
good.
Transportation for them. Like they're all gonna live in like this one subdivision somewhere, and a bus is gonna come and drop them off every single day.
Well, that's good. That's good.
It's just a matter of them clearing the U.S. system to come here, which is like what's taking forever.
That's good.
So,
and they're gonna need a lot of support, because you figure they're coming in with nothing. They don't have teacher
stuff. But that's the other thing. We also have a few leadership vacancies. Like I was saying, like we have what are called coaches. Which are kind of like department heads somewhat, but they're like, they don't have classes. They're like resource teachers. So the one for math and science, we just hired, just started 2 days ago. But before that, we didn't have him. I'm trying to think who else. We also have teachers leaving like really quickly. Like I know of 2 right now that are about to leave. So it's just, it's bad. It's bad. And it's going to continue to be bad.
It is. It really, really is.
So like people are covering on their planning.
Yeah. And it's a cycle, they're burning out who's there because we don't have enough.
Yeah. And who we have too is like not necessarily the best and brightest. It's just someone that's
body
there every day to teach and is willing to do the work. So it's a warm body pretty much. And it's
one of those things, like I go back and forth, like, do I want to stay teaching? I do every year for 13 years.
I don't have anything else. I don't have anyone else.
Well, see, I can do other things. It's just, it's going to cut into my Disney time over the summer.
Darn.
Like, I can't go do 3 weeks of Disney.
No, you couldn't.
So there is that to consider.
So in Florida, to also combat the teacher crisis, which I wanted to get your opinion on because I have very strong opinions about this. Governor DeSantis, who is the Florida governor, who is causing many Disney issues. If you know anything in the Disney community, is causing Walt Disney World many Disney issues. Many people are upset with him. Well, he went on a broadcast, a televised broadcast, and he posted it on his uh, website. And this is an election year for him, mind you. He went on and said that he does not prefer people who went to school for education to be hired. He would rather hire someone with legitimate experience in that field. So to do that, he has waived all board certifications to be a teacher currently. You can take up to I think it's 2 years now to get your certification, but you can teach in the meantime. And you don't necessarily have to get a certification ever. And anyone who has been in the military or is a military spouse can automatically get a teaching certificate. Posted this on his website.
Well, let's see. How am I going to say this? Let's start with your feels. Let's go at your feels.
So I have a lot of friends who don't really care about what he said because they are not like teaching is their second career path. Mm-hmm. Had a career and this is their second career path, mm-hmm. which is fine, whatever. But for someone who has devoted basically my entire very short life to being a teacher, I have my degree in education, which, I don't care what people say. Some people say it's super easy to get it. All you do is color, blah, blah, blah. I've heard it all. But for middle school, at least, I had to basically take like high level math classes. I have a biology minor, which is basically almost like with my science concentration, I basically could have had a biology degree. I was like 10 credits short of that. Like, I am very frustrated by this because you are basically, and I don't have my master's, which they want me to go back and get my master's, like they want everyone to. And so to me, this is like a huge slap in the face of it doesn't matter what you did because we don't care. We would rather have Joe Schmo off the street who worked at Best Buy to come teach technology class. And he's going to be a better teacher than you. It's basically what it kind of seemed like he said.
So I can understand why you feel that way. I do. I'm going to do it. I got to. Okay. As a person who has an alternative certification, I did not go to school for education. I never wanted to teach. That was never in my field of vision at all. Yeah. For me, I became a teacher because I had a set of very special skills. So prior to teaching, I was a corporate trainer. So I would go in and I worked for Sears. And I know it sounds like, but in America, like we have a horrible idea about service related jobs. But anyway, I worked for Sears, the call center, and I worked my way up from being on the call floor into the training department, into training team manager. So I would train people to come in and, do Sears.com, do all kinds. Sears had past tense, because, rest in peace, Sears, had a huge thing behind it. And so that's what I did for like quite some, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I was good at it. But then I met this man, and this man happened to be in the Army. And I was like, I ain't marrying nobody in the Army. I'm living my life. I'm a corporate climbing kind of girl, And then I met a guy. And this guy, I knew that he was going to be going from place to place to place. So I needed a job that I could do anywhere. And so for me, it was like either nursing or teaching. Yeah. So I was like, well, I have educational skills, let me see what that's like. And I got an alternative certification, went into the classroom
Mhm.
and realized, damn, I'm actually good at this,
Yeah.
I know that doesn't work, that path doesn't necessarily work for everyone, but I think so the current school that I'm at now is, like I said, is a charter school, and we have quite a few teachers in that same situation that they did not go to school for education. They all have a degree, but their degree is not necessarily in it's not in education. Like
Yeah.
we've brought in professionals
Which
from.
which is fine. I'm not saying that like there's anything wrong with that, but I'm
Mhm,
just saying like the way in my mind to help fix the teacher problem is to make education more appealing, right? Make it
mhm.
more appealing so that people who are going into college want to specifically go for education. We don't want to pull them like from other fields
Well, let
to
me
put them
ask
in
you this. Hold
education
on.
where they may fail.
Let me ask you this. What did you learn in teacher school that you use today?
I learned how to manage a classroom. I
Mhm,
learned how to set up a lesson, how to write curriculum, how to understand standards and break them down. Basically, everything I do on a daily basis is stuff that I kind of learned in college, mostly learned, I will say in college,
now.
but my college was different. It
Mhm,
wasn't like I learned it from my teaching experiences that I had in college,
mhm. But
where they
not
weren't like
necessarily from your teaching school, like between you and your professor.
some of it. Like I learned how to write on a board correctly. I learned how to like use your peripheral
How do you write on a board correctly?
so you don't turn your back completely to your class.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, we just put the pen on the board.
Like
Like,
there's
is
a
there
way.
another
It's
way to
not
do that?
easy. Like it's not easy because they literally one of my professors literally gave us a like graded assignment where we had to write on a board standing sideways and you just write with your hands like sideways.
Yeah, I think what Florida and maybe even other states or like Florida that are adopting that, because I can certainly see how you would feel frustrated
Like
and feel like
that
that they are
it's
not
fine.
that you guys aren't worth anything.
Yeah, it's fine if
When
you want to like bring people in that have real world experience. Like that's fine. But he's now saying that like they wouldn't even have to go through your certification program before they started.
see, that's where I don't know, because I think about my certification program, my alternative certification program that I went through, and
Hmm.
again, this is like umpteen years ago, and I can't tell you what I learned in that program. I can't tell you. I know, like for me, the way my process was is that I went through the program. I had to do like 30 hours in this program, and these 30 hours were like 4 or 5 Saturdays for whatever in a row,
Hmm.
and we sat in like this hotel conference room,
Hmm.
and we learned all these pedagogy things. I think that's the first time I ever heard the word pedagogy.
Yeah.
Um, and so we talked about all these pedagogy things. We talked about, different classroom management styles. And I
Yeah.
was introduced to Harry Wong then.
Yeah.
Um, so I was introduced to some things, but it was just 30 hours, you know?
Hmm.
And then what I had to do was I had to get a job. So I had to get a job.
Yeah.
And then I went on probation with the state of Texas for 3 years. And so I got my job. I did my English license. I did my English test to test
Hmm.
where what grade levels and whatever I wanted to be proficient in. So I did that test, and then I did my certification test, and then I was on probation for 3 years for the state of Texas before I got my official certification that says yes, you are an official teacher. Um, and that's how it went. And that went with me to Virginia. That's come back with me to Texas. And I think I agree with you that I don't think if you're going to bring these professionals in, they still need to certify. They still need
Yeah.
to something to say that yes, I am an educator because I know these things. I know how to produce a lesson. I know how to
Hmm.
um, um, the basics of
Yes,
pedagogy.
that's just
Like
what I
that
said. Like
is
he doesn't care if you know that because he's like you can just learn it on the job.
And you
and you can do it.
can, but
And you can
that's
to a certain
some
extent,
districts.
but like when you come into a classroom and you scream at a bunch of kids, you clearly don't know how to teach. Like that's just what like you clearly don't like
yeah.
you don't know how to talk to children. You don't know how to read like things like that when you just print off copies of stuff from online and you give it to them and you expect them to learn it without you like teaching them.
And I think this is going to put a bigger strain on the district more than
Yes.
anything, because yes, you need a body, but you are responsible for what that person is producing, which in turn hurts test scores. And once test scores get impacted, then that's a whole nother problem. You know, now the state comes in and the whole damn school is micromanaged with a microscope by the state. And no one wants that. You know, so I don't know if he's really, I get that we need people, but to say that they shouldn't certify, I don't know about
or
that.
giving them so long to like certify. Like, I don't know. I just don't.
I think a 3-year probationary.
I think it was just like a big slap in the face of clearly you don't care if you don't care about what I know. And that as someone who like you want experts in the field of civics. That's fine. Then why don't you come in and teach a civics class?
See, and I don't know. I don't think you should take it so personal, Morgan. It's not that. I don't think
it wasn't just me.
It
was a lot of teachers that I do also know feel very similar ways that basically anyone who like, even if you have a master's in teaching, he doesn't care. He doesn't want that. That's not what he wants. He wants
to me, that doesn't bother me. I don't care about that. Like that to me, if it were me in my state, which it probably might be, I just don't know because it hasn't been as I've been in a bubble right now with moving. I don't think that would bother me so much. What would bother me is my concern for the kids. What type of education and person are they getting? Because teaching is much more than here's a worksheet, here's a lesson, here's the book, read it. You know, it's way much more than that. And that's where I find this concerning is that whomever you put into the classroom or whomever he puts into the classroom, you're creating another problem. It's a domino effect, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull in random.
I will say the majority of people that I have had in my schools, and I've been in a few schools that have quit, did not have a teaching degree. Mm-hmm. They always came from somewhere else. Like we hired a health teacher whose background was in nursing, and they quit after the first day. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, like, and their whole thing was like they had anxiety about being in the front of the room. They weren't prepared to teach a whole class by themselves of 30 kids. And I'm like, I understand that, but like also you knew what you were getting. Like, did you not know?
Did they though? That's the thing. Do they know?
I don't know. Well, they wanted to be a gym teacher, which I was like, you would have had like 45 kids, not 30. Yeah. Like, you lucked out, but okay.
Yeah.
But it's just
gym is like the most unstructured time of the day. Like, I don't care what anybody says.
You gotta have some guts to be a gym teacher. But it was very like I don't know. As someone who devoted 4 years of my life to getting that degree, and then someone telling you that it doesn't mean anything, really like, because at the same time, you want teachers that are here to stay, and a lot of people that I know in the state of Florida after that came out that have teaching degrees did seriously think of going elsewhere.
I think what he should have done was what he should have done in putting this information out to say is, okay, guys, for the teachers that have the degrees and have put in the time, we're going to lean on you to help mold and shape these people. You know, we need these people, but we need you even more so to step up let's bring them in and let's mold them to who we need to be. That's the way you present that information, you know, not just.
Also with school shootings, they were just like anyone the whole like military spouse, military personnel thing really also irked me because I was like, what does that person know about math? What does that person know about? They might know a lot. Like they might. What do they know about teaching reading though? Like those were the things, and they don't. They were just like, oh, they can come in and teach any subject they want. Doesn't matter if you're retired military, active military, or you're a spouse of someone. You can get a teaching degree for any subject you want.
I think, well, so I get what they're doing because, I mean, but those programs have always been in place. That has never, there has always been, it's called, I know when, like my husband and I, we looked at it for him about when he's looking to retire. It's called,
but I think they go back, don't they go back and like do like some type of college, the GI Bill? Are you talking about the GI Bill?
No, the GI Bill is to pay for college. That doesn't matter. No. No, the program is called like, I don't know, like Boots to Class or whatever it is. It's something catchy, whatever. But it's saying that from the hours of, similar to what your governor's saying, essentially what happens is if a soldier wanted to go into teaching after they retire, they would still need to figure out what route, like what classes what they wanted to teach.
Yeah.
But they still had to have a degree. Like you don't.
Yeah. So no, that's not what he's saying. He's saying they don't need a degree, that just because you are a military spouse, you can come in and teach any class you want.
I need to look at that because I can't imagine that is like you don't need a college degree. Because a college degree is one. If he's saying you don't need a college degree, now if you don't need to be certified, then that's the same that he's saying to everybody else.
Yeah,
but
I'm not college degree. But he said that if you are a military personnel, veteran, or a military spouse, you can come and teach.
Yeah, but that's always been a thing. Like that hasn't changed. Like
no, but like right away, like you don't need.
So what he's saying, I don't think he's saying you don't need a college degree. I think probably what he's saying is you don't need a certification, and that's different.
Probably, but
because you wouldn't put an uneducated person in the classroom. Like that doesn't. Uncertified, yeah, that happens. Uneducated, I don't know.
So I don't know. I didn't look into it enough, but I'm pretty sure they were like, if you are just like a mom sitting at home and you want to come do something, you can come teach.
Well, I mean, but okay, I get how it sounds, but don't knock it either, though, because
and that's fine. You might know something, like you might be like a whiz, like fine, whatever. But I don't think you need a degree.
I feel like you probably need a degree. I don't think he would have stooped that low.
At least for
probably
right
not a certification.
I think part of the stipulation is you have to work towards an education degree, but as of right now, because we are so hard pressed for teachers.
Okay, work towards a specific education degree or education certification, because those are two very different things.
He said degree, not certification. Degree.
I need to look at that.
Yeah. I would.
I do have some qualms about putting somebody.
Because he wasn't very. This is how he is. He's very vague in almost every single thing he says. In almost every single thing he does, he's super vague. Especially with the like, don't say gay bill. It's super vague. Like all of it's vague, and so everything he has said about education is very vague. But he did say that they would get a 10% pay increase over the teachers if they were to come in. Like they would get like a bonus, essentially,
like a sign-on bonus kind of thing.
Kind of. Because they're only allowed to teach for 1 year. They're like a 1 year looping thing.
Oh, well, that's okay.
So you apply for 1 year, and if you get a job, then which you would, right now.
I
You
mean,
would.
but to be
And
fair,
then you
we
would
bring
have to reapply.
substitutes. We bring substitutes in all the
Yeah,
time. We
but
bring
I don't understand why he doesn't just say you could be a substitute, because anyone could be a substitute.
well, and what I'm saying is like as long as essentially in schools since I've been teaching, as long as you pass a background check, you could be a sub, and you
Yeah.
can come in
And
and
I
we
think you
have
need like
long
2
term
years of
subs.
college or something.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
But we have, like I don't think what he's saying, the way he's packaging what he's saying is
He's very
odd,
poor at packaging. Like
but
it's very bad, and it's like, what are you saying though? Like, I don't understand. But
yeah,
he
I would
did.
need to read through
Yeah.
what he's actually saying and how districts are taking that, because just because he says it, it's still up to the superintendent to kind of. I think your governor is being vague for a reason, because it leaves the superintendents to, you know, finagle how they want to finagle things for their district, because ultimately their
Yeah.
test scores are going to be reflective upon them. So I don't think
No,
any.
I just looked it up. And here's what
Mhm.
it is. So, Ron DeSantis approved a bill making veterans without a bachelor's degree eligible to receive a temporary 5-year teaching certificate.
Without a batch. Okay, say that again.
Without
Read the
a
whole
bachelor's.
statement again.
He approved a bill making veterans without a bachelor's degree eligible to receive a temporary 5-year teaching certificate.
Are they limited to what they teach though?
No, they can teach anything.
Do they have to get the certification?
Well, it's a temporary certificate. So
Right, but they still have to go get the actual teaching certification. Like you have your test, and then you have, like, I think like in Virginia it's called the praxis.
yeah,
You have your content test, and then you have your certification test. So do they have to at least do the content test?
it doesn't say. No, they don't have to do the content test to get the certification, and they don't have to do the content test after either.
I mean, I don't like the connotation of the fact that, what
And
that implies.
they must have at least 1 college credit. And they have to complete a bachelor's degree within 5 years. Just a degree, does not have to be an education.
Okay, so what I was saying was I don't necessarily like the connotation that he's opening this up to veterans, and it make it because people who are not military affiliated then feel some kind of way. And I will say that as a spouse and from a family of veterans, my mom, my stepdad, my dad, all my uncles, my husband, um, there are soldiers who are very well worth their salt and don't have a degree. It could do what we do.
100%. Like I know that like they know something, but it's just like, how are you going to teach a child to read?
But and that's where it comes back to is my concern is I don't like how he's putting that out there.
Yeah.
Like there should at least take the damn test. Do the test at least to show that you know the content.
The test score as well. That was another thing he did. He lowered the test score by over 50 points.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
These kids. I'm gonna start my own school. I'm just gonna homeschool.
So this is what I'm dealing with.
And then
it's so like demeaning to me that you're doing all of this. And I understand why you're doing all this, because we have a huge teacher shortage, but why not increase? Because he then also said he was not going to increase teacher pay. So you're doing the one thing that would definitely get teachers to say and to come, and you're doing the
Well,
one, you're doing the one thing, you're not doing the one thing that would definitely do that. And then also you're then demeaning those who are currently in the profession by just saying, oh, well, I know you passed the test, but now it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I don't know. I think
It was just a big slap in the face to me and a lot of people I know that have, like, especially some of my friends who are older and have their masters and are currently pursuing doctorates or other forms of masters in education, and they're like, why am I doing this? Why does this
like
matter? I
it
could
doesn't.
go get a degree in biology and become a
Marine
scientist.
biologist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're like, and they would still hire me as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, so why did I waste all this money to get this degree that now doesn't even matter? Like, you know what I mean? That's just what it seems. And then it's also not making education appealing to those going into college, which is what we really need.
Yeah, we know that education in America is just a joke at this point. Like there is no,
it's going to collapse.
It is
going to collapse within
within
the next few years.
It's going to fall. It's a dumpster fire, and I don't know. I just don't know. Like for me, having a kid in this system currently, I think her saving grace is the fact that I am an educator, and I know if I don't know it, I know how to find it, and I know how to figure it out, and we're going to get through this together. I'm an educated educator, but I just feel for these children whose parents, they don't know any better, and teaching, in class, school, they depend on school to teach their kid. That's it.
Yeah.
Like they don't have it within them to teach their own kid, as COVID proved, so I feel the state of America, I'm telling you, it's a great place. I love it. But dadgummit, we're digging our hole.
Yeah.
We are digging our hole.
We are.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how I felt about that.
Yeah.
That was the spiciness of this live stream. Was all of that juicy content. And again, no hate to anyone who is done the second way. Like,
and heck, if you're doing this now, if you're out there,
do that.
If you're out there now and you're looking and you're watching this, you're like, oh my God, these teachers hate me. It's not that. It's not that at all. I'm just telling, from me to you, from a person who's been doing this a while, you have teaching is not just.
If you're like an accountant that wants to go teach math, great, perfect. But don't come in and think that you're just gonna teach 1 + 1 = 2. Like, you're not. Like, don't think it's the easiest thing in the world.
No, teaching is much more than just the content. It's the people skills, it's the empathy, it's the parenting that we have to do, it's the counseling we have to do. It's the
and you asked me earlier, like, what did I learn in college that I use every single day? Honestly, it wasn't in my education class. It was my psychology class. That I learned probably the most about, like, the adolescent mind and things like that. And like, whenever a teacher comes to me and they're like, this kid just won't sit down, I'm like, well, did you know that their tailbone is currently fusing to their spine and it's probably very painful, and they can't understand that that's pain, and they just think they need to get up and walk around, and they're like, wait, what? And their mind is blown, and I'm like, the more you know.
There's a lot. The more we grow.
The more you know.
I know, there's a little rainbow. Oh my gosh.
Rainbow. Anyway, we have a game to get to. So you're gonna be the only one playing the game, but if anyone's watching and you want to play along in the comments or even after, you're more than welcome to. This is called Am I a Teacher? So I have a list of 10 celebrities, and you're going to tell me if they are a teacher or are they a fake teacher.
Okay.
Like, are they a teacher in real life? Like, were they a teacher in real life at some point?
Okay.
or did they just play the role of a fake teacher?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Are you ready? I mean, you're
Okay.
the only one playing. I really expected
Yeah.
Jake to go.
No, it's all good. He
So
probably
I
would
was
have
like,
blown this
oh,
out
this
the
will be
water.
great, but it's okay. It's all right. You can set the standard for the next live stream when we have
Yeah.
it.
Now, this I will say before we get started. After this, I gotta go. But
Well,
go
yeah.
for it.
All right. Ready? So Gene Simmons, is he a teacher or is he a fake teacher?
Okay, so when we say teacher, are we also talking like musical, like any kind of teacher?
Like any kind of teacher. But I will say all of these people were teachers in schools.
Gene Simmons was a teacher.
Was he or was he not? I don't know. You have to tell me.
He was not.
He was. He taught 6th grade for 3 years.
Okay. What did he teach?
It just said 6th grade when I
Oh,
looked it up.
okay.
So I think it was like more that elementary style. So he taught like all the subjects in 6th grade. Yeah.
Okay. Give me another
All
one.
right. Alan Rickman.
Teacher in real life?
No, he's a fake teacher. He was the potions master.
I know, but okay, all right. Hey, Gene Simmons just blew me out the water. Okay, all right.
Viola Davis.
Did she teach? I'm gonna say yes, she did.
No, she is a fake teacher. She was a college professor on how to get away with murder.
Okay.
Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
Yes, he was. He was a teaching
Did he teach
assistant
drama?
for 2 years prior to becoming an actor.
Dang. Okay. Well, we don't know.
You got that one right. You got that one right.
But yeah, but I was like, I wonder if he was a teaching assistant. Was it in college?
No, it was in they did say a K through 12 school.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know how specific that is. Stephen King.
Ooh. Fake teacher.
Real teacher. So he was a high school English teacher while he was penning his first book series.
I should have known that. Like as I said it, as an English teacher, right?
Yeah.
As I said it, I was like, no, there's no way. He just wrote way too much. There's just no. Yeah, he had to. Okay, but go ahead. I am horrible at this game.
Jennifer Garner.
Ooh, fake teacher.
Fake teacher. She was a teacher in Valentine's Day. Jack Black.
Fake teacher because he did school. Was it School of Rock? Or
yes, it was. You're up to 3 now. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he was the fake substitute in School of Rock. Sylvester Stallone.
Fake teacher.
He was a real gym teacher.
Okay.
Yes, he was a gym teacher and a dorm bodyguard, like bouncer kind of person at a Swedish boarding school.
Well.
Yeah,
that was
shocked.
Oddly specific, but okay.
It was a really fascinating fact. Cameron Diaz, fake teacher or
fake teacher?
She was a fake teacher. She was the teacher and bad teacher.
Yeah.
And the last one, are you ready?
Don't say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Sheryl Crow.
Real teacher at some point.
Yes, she was a music teacher before
and
she got break.
Arnold Schwarzenegger? What about you? Fake teacher or real teacher?
I actually looked him up. He's a fake teacher.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a fake teacher.
Was it Kindergarten Cop? Yeah, fake teacher.
Yes, he was Kindergarten Cop.
Oh my goodness. See, I think Jake would have blew that way out the water.
Oh, I 100%. So I really hope he doesn't watch the live stream and we'll quiz him next month. Yes, 100%. Next month we actually have quite the lineup coming up for you guys. So next month, if you're new here, we do this every month. It's the third Wednesday of every single month. So if you missed this one, that's okay. Maybe you're watching The Bachelorette. I don't know. Like, I don't know what people do nowadays. But if you missed this one, we got another one coming up on October 19th, and it is work-life separation.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we have
Important.
Christina, our lovely. Are you coming on that one? Oh, yes, you are.
Yeah.
We have Christina, our lovely guest, coming on. We got Jake, who will be hopefully back. And we also got 2 new guests to the show.
Ooh.
We have Matt from Teacup for One coming on, and we also have Disney Connections coming on.
Okay, nice.
Rob and Melissa will be on. They were teachers for a very long time. I'm not sure if they currently still are. If they went back into it, I do know that they stopped teaching when they moved to Florida, so we'll see about them.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll get their tone of everything and get some juice, and maybe we'll play a similar game again. So
yes, that was fun.
All right, Christina, tell the people what you have coming up on your channel. It is your time to shine.
Hey guys, so my channel. Yeah, I've got to get back into my book. So on my channel, I generally do pen content and book content and just prayerful reflection content. Really pin content lately. Like there's a lot of pin content. I am a part of the Celebrating Collections People and Pins. The CCPP collaboration is going on in our second year. And that's a monthly pin video that quite a few of us put out every month with different themes, different topics, and so forth. But yeah, just feel free to come on by. I'm just now, after my move, I'm just now getting back into the groove, making sure I push out new content. So you might see a couple of old things that I had previously recorded, but it's still good stuff. But yeah, that's me. Hey, welcome and come, and thank you for sticking around if you stuck around this long. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Christina. We will see you next time on the live stream. Thank you guys so much. So coming up on my channel, you guys are on it right now. We have this next month. I'm going to have my teacher room tour coming up. I promise I will get it out hopefully within the next week. I also have a lot of stuff coming out in October that I've been saving. So I have my Mickey's Not So Scary video. Went to that for the first time. Had so much fun. So I have that coming out. I have some different pin stuff that is Halloween theme specific coming out, and a whole lot more content, of course, all the time. You can always find it on my Instagram channel, and I'm actually starting a new weekly live stream that is Dancing with the Stars themed. So we're going to recap the episode. First episode is actually tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I have a very special guest who has been on the channel not in a very long time. She was in my very first videos. This is my best friend Gina, and we're going to talk about all things Dancing with the Stars and what we thought of this week's performances. Everything from Charli D'Amelio and her mother and their performances to all the way to Vidi Guadagnino and the Shangela and everyone else that was on the show. I can't even think. Wayne Brady, all the great stars. So, and we'll break it all down for you and tell you who went home and what we think our thoughts and predictions are for the season. So I'm so excited for that. Make sure you tune in, and I will see you guys on the next one. Class is dismissed. Bye.